This next question is on illegal immigration. It's a dominant topic, of course, in politics today. It's been one of the number one things we've heard on our Facebook page and emails that we got about this debate. Indiana, obviously not on the border, right, but feels the effects of it. So what do you believe, and we'll start with you, Ms. Crouch, what do you believe the state should do about illegal immigration?
Well, due to Biden's failed illegal immigration policies, every state is a border state, and that includes Indiana. And so as governor, I will be sure that we have National Guard troops to our southern borders to help protect them. But then also looking at protecting Indiana's borders. And if we see an influx of illegal immigrants, we will deport them to sanctuary cities. Because what they are bringing is deadly fentanyl into our communities that are destroying our neighborhoods and killing our young people. And so also, it's not just the fentanyl and the drugs in the border, it's about countries in China buying our farmland and buying land near our military sites. And when I saw that China could buy land here in Indiana, our farmland, I helped to stop it. And then, when they could buy land near our military sites, I stopped that. That is what we need to do to protect Indiana.
Okay. Ms. Crouch, thank you. Mr. Doden, 60 seconds to you, sir.
Well, first of all, President Biden needs to do his job, and Congress needs to do their job, and that includes Senator Mike Braun, who went to the border recently, did a television commercial, said that I'm going to provide solutions and providing solutions, then comes back a few days later and says, well, let's not provide solutions because of politics. That's not leadership. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to send the National Guard to the border and partner with governors. If the federal government won't solve it, we're going to partner with our governors to solve it. We're going to try to do the best we can to make sure cartels cannot bring drugs across the border. At the same time, we're going to work with our local law enforcement, give them tools, training, give them the people and the things that they need to make sure that we can protect our people here, take care of the cartels here, have stricter sentences for drug dealers. And then finally, we need to get more resources to the people that are suffering from addiction and make sure that we restore them to their families and community.
Mr. Doden, thank you. Mr. Braun, what do you think the state of Indiana should do about illegal immigration?
Clearly some of my opponents ought to at least get Government 101 down. This is due to Biden and the Democratic Senate that had zero interest in doing anything out there. Donald Trump had immigration at lowest levels ever, and it's the same legislative template that Biden has undone all of that with. So you can say whatever you want, and when you get barrages like this that are based on nothing, it's because everyone up here is not putting a plan out there that Hoosiers trust. That is when you're losing, just like when I ran against 2 congressmen and a sitting senator 6 years ago, they tried that. Be careful when you listen, when people throw retreads and things that don't make sense based on lies and distortions. There's plenty of material to work with, everyone here, if they want to do that. But when it comes to the border, if you're governor, you can take your cue from what Governor DeSantis did and what we did in Texas. That's what needs to be done.
Mr. Braun, we're going to move on. Thank you very much. Mr. Hill, 60 seconds to you, sir.
Well, my concern here is that we sent Senator Braun to Washington at his request to fight for us in Washington, D.C. And part of that fight was on the border. Well, I don't want to hear blame, it's the Democrats, we couldn't get that done. You were there to fight for us. And halfway through the term, I'm going to give up. I don't want to do it anymore. Immigration and border issues are a federal issue. And the reality is the federal government has dropped the ball, including our United States Senator and our own senator here on this stage. Moving forward, we make sure that the National Guard, Indiana National Guard, goes forward on the border. I called for that. Governor Holcomb finally relented and sent them in. We need to continue that process. But here at home, we need to make sure that there's no safe landing for illegal aliens. No places to work, no places for services. That's harsh, but we're either going to fix this problem or we're not. I choose to fix it.
Mr. Braun, I'll get to you in a moment on this. I want to get your thoughts on this, Mr. Chambers. What would you do about illegal immigration in the state?
Yeah, it shouldn't be a state problem. Heretofore, it's not been a state problem. It is a state problem now. I'm all over the state meeting with Hoosiers, and the first question often that comes up is about the border. And it is now, because of federal failure, congressional failure, it is a state issue. Fentanyl pouring across the border is killing Hoosiers. And so in our Protect and Serve plan, we have a fentanyl task force to address that issue. I would absolutely send troops to the border to help Governor Abbott address this issue, because our feds are not doing that. The other area it's affecting is workforce. We have illegal immigrants coming into the state of Indiana and taking work from some of our unions and some of our other employers, and so we have to deal with and taking jobs away from Hoosiers. And so this federal failure, the failure of Congress to deal with this issue, is really a state issue. It's costing us Hoosier dollars to deal with this. Not to mention the increased crime, and that is in our Protect and Serve plan as well.
Okay, Mr. Chambers, thank you. Mr. Braun, you were mentioned specifically. I'll give you 30 seconds to respond.
So you're mighty mice up here when you can say stuff and you've never been in the position of doing it. If you want to figure out who's going to take action on stuff like this, it was your junior senator that got the vaccine mandate stopped that was unconstitutional. I dusted off an old act that nobody thought of. I did that. I generated the first veto that Biden had to exercise on ESG. I know how to get things done. I've been on the firing line. It's easy when you've done nothing and you say you want to do it.